Hi, Shay Given here. You're watching Irish Football Fan TV.
Hello and welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. This is our League of Ireland show. Fresh after watching Dundalk, brilliant game against Derry. A kind of late comeback almost by Derry. But we'll kind of come to that afterwards anyway. Do you want to go through the results from the week, and we'll just talk about kind of the main talking points because we're kind of coming towards the end of the season now. And
yeah, it's wrapped up now, isn't it? The big game Friday night, I think, was the game everybody was watching. We thought there might be a bit of a kick off Cork down in Turner's, but wasn't to be. And it was most one-sided 1-0 victory you'll see in your life. There's not a lot to be said really about that game. We'll speak about it a bit more, but 1-0 victory for Dundalk, and that wrapped things up.
Yeah, I think it was kind of unsung hero for the season, Chris Shields with the goal.
Yeah, he was magnificent, wasn't he?
Yeah, and same again tonight. He's just, the thing I like about him is, if anyone makes any sort of mistakes or anything like that, he's straight on them no matter.
Just a warrior as well in the middle of the pitch. He summed up the difference between the two sides in both terms of just wanting it more aggression, just more hunger, everything. You could just ripping into tackles. But yeah, we'll speak a bit more about Dundalk and everything that's gone on in the back of that then as well. The other results was a good win for Limerick, 2-0 victory at Bray, and Waterford.
The battle at the bottom.
Yeah.
That'll all depend now on whether Limerick do well in the playoffs or whoever they face coming up from the first division, who have to play a hell of a lot of games as well to get just a playoff with them. But
plenty of football to be played there as well. And then the other result on Friday was Waterford bet Sligo 1-0.
They kept the pressure on Rovers didn't they? Because Rovers had to play the next day.
Yeah, and you thought if you're a Waterford fan leading on to that, Rovers having to go up to Derry, but they got a massive 3 points up there, and Waterford must be, for the fans, must be a little bit sick, and it's that hope that kills you at the best of time. They thought that a draw at least they might have got off Rovers up in Derry, but no, massive 3 points for Rovers, and they push on there. And then I suppose arguably the biggest talking point of the weekend then was the Dublin derby. Bows 11 changes, I believe.
They basically played a lot there.
Saw the team sheet and went, "Oh, Pats have this handy."
Those lads won the cup there a couple of weeks ago against good friend of the show, Darius Kieran's team. He was actually asking us to come along and film or document the game, because it was actually the week Ireland were playing Wales. I was actually over interviewing John Hartson. That's the only reason we didn't get to cover it, but we would have otherwise. And they were going unbeaten for the season then. And then Ali Regba, who scored 2 in the game, follower of the show as well. So Ali, if you're watching, good man, fair play to you. But he seems to be a big star, and a lot of people were raving about him.
Yeah, he certainly left an impression in his debut. Even just talking to fans of various teams the last couple of days in work, everyone's raving about him. Everyone thinks he could be the next potential superstar, and he definitely, as I said, left a mark. And that was a massive victory for Bows, and a sickener really for Pats.
3-1. The result did surprise me now when I heard the changes in the team, and I thought, okay, well, Pats probably win this, because Pats, and we all know, well, we'll kind of get to it in a minute, but about Liam Buckley resigning, I don't think Pats are a bad team. We say this nearly every time we speak of them. They play nice football. They're nice to watch. When you go down there, you do expect a good game. And the only thing that kind of faults them is their lack of a real out and out fit striker. Kirsty Fagan injured, and he's always in and out. Jake Keegan, I don't know if he's really up to it. I don't think he's the answer. I think he'll get you
it's
12
goals. It's not that focal. He's not real out and out number 9 in terms of what Pats are missing. Championi thought maybe was that, but it was a little bit too late.
Champion.
I've been nicknaming him that all week. Bit of no disrespect, but it's a funny little nickname. You picked up on it there. But at least he was adding a focal point to their team, and he was excellent in the Waterford game that we were at there a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, no, it's just a case of what could have been really for Pats. I think the best way of speaking to a friend of the show as well, big Pats fan, Will, earlier on today in work, and we were chatting, and I think the best kind of summary that we kind of could describe things is almost an element of Wenger at Arsenal sort of thing, with the kind of the staleness coming in,
that's a good point.
Good performances, not really getting the results that they deserved, and it almost feels like someone needs to come in and just shake everything from top to bottom and kind of get a bit of bite back in that team, get a bit of aggression, because there is a lot of good talented players there. It just feels like there's something missing.
Yeah, like actually that is a very good kind of analogy of the way it's gone, because you do look at it. He's done a good job. He's won things. He's stuck with his style, same as Wenger as well. So yeah, I mean, we had a show here a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, and we said maybe Pats are better off if he parted ways with them maybe at the end of the season. It seems as it's not the end of the season, but it's coming close to it now. But it's just kind of a bizarre time. I know they lost the other night, but now they have that game against Shells now in the cup final.
Yeah, like the timing, like I'm not surprised that they've parted ways. Like it's been mumbled the last year or so, but there's all sorts of rumours going around that there was payment issues or whatever, and that was one of the reasons why he stayed on. We won't get into that, but it's not like everyone's surprised that he's left. I am personally surprised at the fact that it's happened now. It just seems a strange timing. I know losing the derby like that is a real kick in the teeth, and I suppose the ironic thing is Buckley is a manager that's given many youth players an opportunity, and it's the opposition youth players that have almost given them the big goodbye here.
I think as well that I think he was falling out with some players. I know some players that within the team. And
we've heard rumours of that. The players that haven't been involved. I suppose it's like no matter what manager, players are usually not happy if they're playing, and when the results aren't going the way, it adds to frustration on that. But like,
even Graham Kelly left Giggles. He left there last week by mutual consent, which I just thought was a bit bad. It was coming.
Another strange time, and I would have thought, like, we're so close to the end of the season. Usually these type of movements don't happen until the football is finished for the year. And
he'll pick up a club. He's a good player.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he doesn't get a club, in and around Pat's level, I think one of the clubs coming up next year, maybe we'll take a gamble on. It's bizarre not to. He's only about 26 or 27.
It's definitely an opportunity, or there's definitely a place for him in the league there. And then the last result is the one we've just watched, which has pretty much put a nice little bow on things. Dundalk have beaten Derry 3-2. Probably a scoreline that probably flatters Derry to be a little bit.
Derry were poor for 70 minutes.
Yeah, I thought Dundalk were immense in the first 45 minutes. I thought they showed really why they are champions. They showed why, in my opinion, they're the best team in the country at the moment.
They blew them away, but the thing that stood out in my mind was just the football they played. And you have all these stereotypical people who just don't actually watch them or watch teams in the league, and they're like, oh, it's just hoofball. Yeah, you watched the football tonight.
Far from that.
It was all one touch, bam.
They had
pass,
a system. Everyone
triangles.
they had a system. They knew exactly, because they'd made a number of changes tonight as well, and it didn't affect the style of football. They still played the same system. They still played the same way. They still played very, very effective football. I got a little flashback. This is strange. Maybe it's an indication of how weird my mind is the best of times. But I got a flashback during the first half there, watching them play this beautiful football, and I was like, Jesus, I'm really, really disappointed that they didn't really get to show this type of football in European football this season, because they were such an effective unit. Everyone was so honed, even with those changes. Like they should really be doing better in Europe. I suppose that's a conversation for another day.
But you look at the Larnaca teams that they faced. They went and beat Stoke Graz by a really high marginal score. I think it might have been 8-0, or a high enough aggregate score. Anyway, I just can't remember off the top of my head. But they are a good side, and I just think that had they got maybe a lesser team, they would have done decent. But they didn't. It was only till they were over there that they got the...
it was just weird, like that just flashed into my head, because I'm looking at this as an Irish team that has the capability of doing quite well in Europe, and hopefully next season when they'll be in the Champions League qualifiers, and they'll have the safety net then of Europa League qualifiers, that they will go and run. But let's park that conversation for now. Let's not really dwell on negatives, because it's Dundalk's night. Pat Hoban said afterwards, it's over. I'm sure that went down a treat down south. But thoughts on Dundalk? They've wrapped it up. They're not going to be beaten now. Deserved champions.
Yeah, well, I think you look at how far Houben is in the scoring charts. I think that kind of resembles how well they've done. You know, even early on in the season when we were going to the games, I remember we were looking at Daniel Cleary and how impressed we were when he first came in. Didn't he
Mellowed a bit in the middle of the season.
Yeah, but it's still solid. You know, I'd hate to be marked by him because he's just everywhere and he heads everything. But just all over the park, they just look assured. I think maybe from next season, in the recruitment they might look at maybe replacing Rodgers as he's getting on a bit. But other than that, I mean, they have a lot of like for likes there.
Yeah.
The thing that they might need to look at now is keeping a hold of Michael Duffy because he scored a lot of goals, a lot of assists, a lot of Houben's goals have come from him, and then Dylan Connolly, who was actually rested tonight. I think he was rested anyway, but he's on the bench, and Mountney was on the right. And then they even look at it, they've got Jamie McGrath, Robbie Benson. I don't think was playing tonight either. So they have a lot of strength numbers. Yeah. Sean Hoare. At the back as well, Brian Gartland, Dane Massey was on the bench today, who's normally their captain. They brought in Jarvis, so Sean Gannon is probably their best right back in the league as well.
Can't argue with that.
So you look at it like the only kind of weak position I feel that they have is maybe in goals.
I wouldn't really consider that a weakness, you know.
But he's getting on. He's hitting 40 if he hasn't already hit it.
I think he still has a lot to offer. One bit of a fumble really in the first half. They had kind of a corner, but then he made a good save after that. You wouldn't, if maybe.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying if there was one area in which you
maybe if you're talking next level stuff, but it's not as if they have a huge weakness there.
And we also didn't mention Patrick McElhenney, who's come back from Oldham as well and scored a lovely goal tonight.
It's a beautiful touch, beautiful finish, wasn't it, for the second? Just that class apart, like it's just it's a nothing really move down the left wing, cuts inside, and you're thinking, oh, this isn't really much danger here. Next one he takes a touch, he's inside and buried in the bottom corner. That's that level of class that they are above a lot of teams.
But Houben, I think
it's not just his performance. I thought he was immense in the first 45 minutes. But
I think his goal was unbelievable.
Yeah, but even like you watch him charge down the keeper at one stage, like a nothing ball that he shouldn't really get near. He's in on the keeper's heels. Could have gone anywhere. It's his all-round whole of play. It's his drive, and I think we spoke about it in your place afterwards, just after the game in his interview, and before he said the tongue-in-cheek comment, but he was, they said that's his 25th. You've levelled with Towell and
Jason Bergling
and Crow, and I think that's 3 people on 25 now. And he said, like, well, it's not as if like he's celebrating. It's pity I didn't beat it, and I'll try and beat it next week.
Well, he hit the crossbar, and then he had a header. He will break that record, and unless he gets injured,
deservedly so as well.
I'd be heartbroken for the man if he gets injured. I'd be absolutely heartbroken for him.
Because I know how much that would mean to him. But it's just his aggression. Like I remember if I could sum up his season, it was a game against Pats at Richmond that we were at. I think it might have been 2-1 at the time. I think Pats took a lead in the first half. Dundalk equalised just after half time and got in front. It was 2-1, and then there was
Chris Shields.
Yeah, and then there was the breakaway goal where literally I think Pats had a corner down the way, and he's literally busting a gut. He sprints the whole length of the pitch. He's chugging off 2 or 3 people, and you just see arms, legs, everything going straight down the pitch, and he gets on it. And it
wasn't even a good ball. He got I think it was Benson.
Yeah, but it was overcooked. He was stretching to his right, and he after sprinting the whole length of the pitch, and it's almost hilarious run. You want some Rocky music or something like that, because as I said, knees, arms, everything when he's holding a couple of people's off, and then from the right side, like difficult enough. He flicks it in, and that for me sums up Houben this season: strength, pace, and just a desire to win.
A goal scorer as well.
And a goal scorer.
I wonder what international team could do with a player like that. Boggles the mind. But anyway,
people need to watch him more. Like I know we harp on him quite a lot. Look, an insane amount, but that's because we see how good we watch him most. Get to see him. We're lucky enough to see him most weeks of the year.
He's a banker for Paddy Power, anytime goal scorer as well. If you're into that, not that we're promoting it, but if you are into it, he is.
He's capture rich, has he?
Well, I haven't actually backed him, but stupidly I'm looking back saying, You know what? Anytime goal score,
just don't jinx him now. You know, you want to keep him to get that 26.
Oh, he'll get it. I'd be, very surprised if he didn't get it now. Even I was watching tonight, like in the game, and anytime anyone took a shot or didn't pass to him and missed, he lets him know about it.
There was that look
every 2 minutes, literally every 2 minutes. And if he's watching this, he'll probably be laughing to himself, agreeing. But yeah, look, Dundalk. For me, I know they're not officially crowned champions, but he said it himself in the interview after the game.
There's no way in hell they're getting beaten now.
Yeah, but look, deserved winners.
Absolutely.
In my eyes, they played lovely football. I'm happy for their fans. The thing is, they've spent so many seasons just rebuilding under Stephen Kenny, that he's just done a brilliant job, and it also shows how vital Sean Maguire was to Cork.
Yeah, because if that's one moment you want to see, I wish I could talk about hooping all night long. If there's one moment that you want to pick, and I think many people have said it now, but it's last season when Maguire left. It's pretty much been off a cliff.
Well, they did win the cup against them.
They did.
Sadly.
But the results and the performances, and most importantly, the general vibe amongst the players, kind of the management and the supporters, has all been off a cliff since.
I wouldn't say so. I think they got behind them. I think it was the European competition. I think that was the thing that took the biscuit, really. And Aaron, who does our graphic designers, he's pure and utter hashtag sack the yank. He was saying, I don't know. That's not making down or whatever. But he's all about Caulfield now. Look, I'm not a Cork fan. I don't know what their expectations are. He said he's getting a lot of abuse for voicing the fact that he wants Caulfield out. So there's a section of fans that want him in and go mad at people who say anything bad about him. So I don't really know. Like, it'd be interesting to see if anyone is a Cork fan watching this, if you haven't turned it off already after all the Dundalk talk, which by all means is fair enough. I'd be interested to get their thoughts on, what do they want Caulfield in? Do they want him out? I thought his recruitment wasn't great. I thought they really needed a striker to come in. Graham Cummins was decent, but he wasn't. He's not the answer in which they're looking for. They need at least 2 strikers there. I think a lot of Cork fans were surprised as well by the fact that Sadlier was dropped a lot of the time as well, and
he looks like his performances or confidence and everything has been just cut to ribbons by being in and out of the team, dropped for a lot of big games, which I could never really get my head around, because they were crying out for his pace and creativity.
The game that stands out for me for him there is recently against Longford, and you look at the scored a perfect hat-trick. The drive to get in the box, score on his left foot, get that goal, then the header. I think the header was first actually, but anyway, doesn't really matter. And then to score that cracking goal with his right foot at the end, and my God, it was a cracking goal. And then they obviously scored that won the goal early in the season. Now I think that was just more of a kick out. I think he'll even admit that as much as he wants to say it was a goal.
No, it's definitely he's going to argue all day long, I'm sure.
But like he's a very level-headed guy. Like I'd speak to him, probably once a week or something like that, like on social media or whatever. And he's a very level-headed guy, and he doesn't seem to really let it get to him. It'd be interesting to see if someone came in for him. I think if I was him, I'd be looking to get away.
Yeah, well, I suppose he'll have one eye.
Well, it depends on the management.
That's what I say. One eye on who's the next manager is, because I don't see how. Yeah, this is just as me as a neutral looking in. I don't see how Caulfield can continue in that role, and I think you have to look at Friday night, the performance, the lack of fight, the lack of style. Like, what were they trying to do? What are they trying to achieve? And to sum it all up, to have Delaney up front at the end and trying hoofing balls up the box.
Well, I think what's going to be the deciding factor on this is the game against Bows in the Cup. That's this Sunday.
Yeah, that's Sunday. Like, the thing about it is in a weird way, Bows probably your favourites going into that game, or definitely in the better confidence, definitely better form.
They've even better confidence.
Yeah. Up in Bows as well.
Sorry?
Up in Bows as well.
Yeah,
home crowd.
Yeah. Just like last week. Or the week before. I don't know. Well, again, Sadly, I wasn't playing that game. He was out injured, so he might come back in. He could be the difference. Like he is that good that he could be the difference.
Yeah, because I expected a kickback off Cork on Friday night, and I predicted a draw. I think I expected Cork in front of their home fans to, put one up to the elect champions and really show them that well, we might win the season. We're laying down a marker. I didn't see that. You'd have to imagine there's going to be a bit of kick on Sunday now in the Cup semi-final, surely.
If I was a Cork fan, I'd be demanding it. And then if that wasn't the case and they lost that, and if they lost it in the fashion in which they lost the balls last time,
it was weak. There was no fight. It was just, I was getting pissed off watching it, and as I repeat, I'm just a neutral watching, and I was fuming.
Well, I liked Stephen Beattie came out on Off the Ball and basically critiqued it very well. He said, look, none of us were good enough on the night, and he actually took the defeat instead of letting the manager take the defeat. And I like when players do that, because at the end of the day, they're the players that are going out there to perform. Like Caulfield can only pick the team. I know his tactics are a bit whatever, but I just
like just getting into a needless argument at half time, and then
apparently punched the assistant manager.
Yeah, there's something happened anyways, and it's not the first time he's blown a fuse on the sideline.
Waterford earlier in the season kicked off a massive brawl as well.
I remember him even up in Oriel earlier on, start of the season as well, blowing a gasket up there as well. Like everything isn't right there, and they need like when the cup draw came out, maybe about a month ago at this right now, we saw it and joked about, they've fixed the draw, they've kept the two big teams apart for the dream final. It doesn't feel like that formality anymore.
What do you mean?
That Cork are going to get to the final.
Yeah, in a way, but it might just be a blip. I mean, you look at this league so many times and people have blips here and there. No one's seeing the Bows, winning streak come like that. Everyone thought Rovers' season was over, doom and gloom.
Number of times.
Yeah, and they've come back. Credit to them, by the way. So this. Everyone thought Derry were going to be up there pushing for it. They dropped off as well. So it's a very unpredictable league, and anyone can beat anybody. And that's why I would not be confident in giving any sort of prediction in that game. It could go either way. It really could. Yeah,
well, I suppose, look, we better put our money where our mouth is. You talk about who been printing your money earlier on.
You're not printing me money, I'm just saying
that. I'll call it and I'll go first. I'll be brave so people can't say I'm copying you or whatever. I think this is going to be a very close game. I do think that we're going to get the kick out of Cork. I think because they just need to. I think the players need to more than anybody. And I will go for Cork to just slime their way through.
So you predict an end to the winning run?
I think there's going to be an end to the winning run, yeah. I think they're going to, and Cork will get the mini revival back on track because I think they just have to.
I'm going to go for a Bows win, 1-0.
That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah. Just wanted to go differently.
Fair enough, I get that. It's a game that could genuinely go either way. I think it's going to be an incredibly close game. I think it could be I think you're going to see a game where both teams are just pretty much going to roll up their sleeves and fight. I think it could be a bit of a dogfight.
What about the Leinster Senior Cup game?
That's a handy game for Pats, isn't it?
See, I kind of want to go, but at the same time I feel guilty because I haven't been to a Shells game all season, so I feel almost guilty by not by going.
You might jinx them or something.
Well, there's that as well, but I'd feel like a real bandwagon if I did do it now, so I was gonna wait till next season and just go, but I'm actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to the playoff and draw the next week. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go just in case I jinx it.
Fair enough.
But obviously I'm going for a Shells win.
Okay, well let's speak about the opponents then for that game. Pats followed on from the 11 changes or whatever, and the shock result in a way that's led to the departure of Liam Buckley. The timing is strange. It's probably not that it's happening, but replacements, who do you think will get the job? Obviously, Gerard O'Brien has a short term for the remainder of the season.
I don't know. Like I put up on our Facebook page today, and there was lots of like random shouts. People were saying like get Keith Long in from Bowes. I don't think
it's never going to happen. I don't think.
I think he's onto something really good at Bowes, and I feel like you shouldn't really leave it now.
No,
You know, he's only starting stuff off there.
Starting to take there, isn't it? You see the youth guys coming through as well. So why would you leave that really? No disrespect to Pats, I don't see him leaving there.
Yeah, and because they're kind of in and around the same bubble at the moment, it wouldn't really be like if he's gone from say Bowes to Cork or something like that. But we'll talk about that for another day. Pat Fenn would be a good shout. Very good, knows the league inside out. I don't think he wants to go back into management though.
No,
I know he was doing.
Do you remember with the Waterford role? Wasn't he advisor or
director of
something
football? Yeah. So I think he's done with the management side.
His name always gets pulled out, doesn't it?
Because he's just been such
like
a good player and such a good manager. And he's done well nearly everywhere he's been anyway.
Another one that I heard doing the rounds today pretty strongly. Well, if you can judge by rumours, by strongly, but Paul Doolan was mentioned a couple of times as well. I suppose it's another one of these that's always mentioned when an opportunity comes up. But I think that would be, a very good appointment for Pats, just in terms of just getting everyone back on track again.
Yeah, I'd be more interested to hear what the Pats fans
absolutely
who they want to get in as manager, because I just think it's a bit useless you and I speaking about, because we're not as fixated on it as them, as they're probably like writing right now like who they want. I'd be interested to see, because it's not a bad core players that they have in that squad, and get the right manager in, the right recruitment, they could be fighting for a European place like Waterford have been this season. So whoever comes in, as I say, just needs to recruit well and find a goal scorer or keep Christy Fagan fit. It's just gonna be like, as simple as that, basically. They might get someone from the first division in as manager. Who knows, right? But
whoever does come in, there is a great bunch of players there. Fantastic bunch.
It'll be interesting to see how Gerard O'Brien finishes the season. I seen him tonight on Air Sport. He said he wants to do his pro license, so he doesn't think he's going to stay on as manager. But
stranger things have happened.
Graham Kelly at Bray was didn't have his pro license, and he was still kept going on it. So you won't. There's sometimes in life where you just kind of have to go. I might not get this opportunity again. I'm sure he will though, but I think he'll just stick it out for the end of the season, see how results go, and take it from there. I think that's all he can really do.
Yeah, but definitely Pats fans, let us know who you want to be the next manager. Who do you think should be? I'm really genuinely just curious to see what the reaction will be on that. We'll do a reaction piece to it later then as well.
Yeah, I suppose that's been it in terms of our League of Ireland show. It's been a pretty eventful week, and there's going to be even more eventful now after this weekend. So I'm actually looking forward now to Monday's show. But just to end things off, guys, our sponsor, Taxi 24/7. If you could please download their app, it's in the description there. There's a link for Android and a link for Apple, and it's in the description. So if you could please go and download that, Dublin's most reliable taxi service. So as I say, if you haven't, do so now and download it. Also, let us know your thoughts on the Pats management situation. Dundalk deserved champions, and does Caulfield have to stay in or out? And lastly, your thoughts on the cup final coming up this week.
We'll wrap it up with a fine goal, man. Simple quote: it's over.
And a giggle. Don't forget to subscribe, likes on all platforms, like this video, and thank you very much for watching Irish Football Fan TV. Have a great day.